Skagway, Alaska is a cruise port for everyone from history buffs to hikers. In this video, we go over port basics you'll need and an overview of the small town so loaded with activities we had to keep coming back. I'm Troy, and this is the Port Lowdown. Skagway, Alaska is a borough or county on the eastern panhandle. Tucked away in a remote, rugged area bordering Canada's Yukon Territory, Skagway was a major entry point for prospectors during the Klondike Gold Rush between 1896 and 1899. Over 100,000 prospectors hustled through, but most left empty-handed, while a good portion died. Still, the Gold Rush inspires movies, books, and a continued curiosity about its wild and often roughneck past. The natural beauty here, especially during the tourist summer peak, offers ample hiking via the Whitepass and Chilkoot trails and paths near the cruise ship, as well as a spectacular backdrop for train rides up the Yukon. Special attractions like Dredgetown add even more reasons to keep coming back. Skagway itself is way small, only a few miles long, but the infrastructure for handling cruise tourists is excellent, with 3 deep-water docks that can handle cruise ships, or Broadway and Railroad, with Broadway and Railroad the principal docks, not including ships docked offshore and tendering in. The town is set up for large influxes of cruise visitors. Broadway dock faces the main street of Broadway. Plain and simple, it offers a few tour booths and a parking lot. But the biggest asset to this dock is the short walk to Broadway past the Pullen Creek stream walk. Railroad is just south of this, across from the small vessel harbor. 2 ships can dock there end-to-end facing the ship signature walk, a painted wall for cruise lines to immortalize their voyages here. Originally, you could step off the ship and either walk to town or meet your tour bus here, but a recent landslide shut off access to the area. While repairs are ongoing, how you get out depends on where you're docked. The furthest ship to the end shuttles passengers via buses to an area just outside the working area. We were on the ship closest to the harbor, so we took a tender that shuttled us there in about 3 to 4 minutes. Multiple tenders running all day kept us moving quickly, with little waiting. Once at the harbor, we walked up to what was essentially the cruise terminal. It was also the most comprehensive, with restrooms, a tourist info booth, cafes, and a few harbor attractions to boot. Tours met at parking lots just a few minutes walk away from here, via several lots. Also, there is a large pickup area for both cruise ship shuttle services and the local city shuttle called Smart. For $3 one way or $5 for an all-day pass, this convenient service is helpful for people who would rather shuttle around town. Definitely an option since taxi service is scant and there's no rideshare. The walk to downtown is roughly 12 minutes along Congress Way, but it's flat and very pleasant. You'll pass the attractive Pullen Creek Shoreline Park with an expansive open lawn, 2 terrific bathrooms, and small trails, great for kids to work off energy. Also along Congress Way is the entrance to Dewey Creek Trail, which crosses the railway tracks, one of the many hiking opportunities in town. Continue past the park and you'll find the starting point for the Whitepass and Yukon Route Railway, which is sort of essential for a first-time visitor, but it will take most of the day. More on that in a bit. The railways start at the foot of town proper, where Broadway is the showcase for all things frontier and funky. Lots of stores and cafes with its own peculiar vibe. 3 parts history, 1 part kitsch, but disarmingly charming and laid back. Essential services are all here inside this small area. A big tourist information center with water refills, event info, local restaurant menus, first for me, and great bathrooms. In fact, bathrooms in Skagway are numerous, accessible and clean.
I will say this about Skagway: ample seating, ample bathrooms. If you have trouble with the toilet, this is your place.
Further down is the Trail Center Information Office, mostly geared for overnight hikers, but you can get more detailed intel on day hikes as well. The town has 1 ATM, Wells Fargo, also on Broadway. 1 block northwest on State Street, you'll find a more residential area, but with some services closer to the docks. Alaska Commercial Company is the town supermarket, which is serviceable for small snacks and basic necessities. Also around the street are several vehicle rental options if you want to explore the Yukon on your own. This one, affordable car rental, is in a sundry store and laundromat. Across the street is Avis in this cute blue shack. I also noticed this interesting shop, Klondike, which rents electric cars and bikes, as well as tours, of course. And Sockeye Cycle also offers bike rentals, as well as tours. Lastly, for services, my wife needed some medical attention, so we were directed to this clinic, Dahl Memorial Clinic, which was a roughly 16-minute walk from the beginning of town. After filling out the paperwork, she got a quick checkup and medication on site. The whole process took about 30 minutes. It's a very nice facility that does a lot of business with tourists. They even have historical displays in the waiting room, like these circumcision tools for babies. Okay. Overall, a positive experience, but it's a private facility, so it won't be cheap. Freeze these frames at your convenience to check out the details. We got billed later when we returned home. Now, Skagway shines when it comes to telling its history. There are several historic buildings managed by the National Park Service, but the one truly essential visit is this one, the Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park Visitors Center. This museum presents a detailed, well-presented, and engaging story of the gold rush. It's a dramatic and often tragic story. You come away with a pretty good context even from a casual visit. Bottom line, life sucked as a prospector. The Junior Ranger program here is very involved too. Rangers give out activity books for kids and Ranger honors after completion.
Please raise your right hand, repeat after me. As a Junior Ranger, I promise to continue learning about national parks and to preserve them for future generations. Congratulations.
The staff here are awesome. And of course, clean and available restroom. Starting from this center, you can make your way to other historical buildings in town, where you can use audio guides as well as tons of on-site displays. Exploring all this at a careful pace could fill up a whole day. And history isn't just for the National Park Service. The Red Onion Saloon has its own museum about the brothel here, given by guided tours upstairs. Just keep the kids at nearby Mollie Walsh Park, with its play area, placards on local history, of course, and you guessed it, clean restrooms. By the way, if you enjoy exploring ports on your own terms, be sure to like and consider subscribing. We're building a collection of port reports, ship tours, and tips for the independent-minded cruise traveler. Now, on a previous trip, we took the Whitepass and Yukon Route Railway excursion. This time, we booked through the cruise line, since the prices were roughly compatible with the rail company. This is one experience you can't readily DIY. You either book through the cruise company or the rail company. Now, a full round trip on the train runs about 3 hours. It's a long trip. But most excursions also include extras, such as a tour bus stop at the Yukon Suspension Bridge, and lunch back in town, which can lengthen the trip to 5 to 6 hours. Definitely an all-day affair, but perhaps time left over for the Gold Rush Museum. On our recent trip, we did the exact opposite and set out to hike on our own. And the path was fairly close to town, the Gold Rush Cemetery, about a 45-minute walk, about 2 miles. You could definitely take a tour here, but we preferred a more leisurely paced stroll, more enjoyable and gave us a taste of local life.
Hey guys.
And the occasional art installation. You know, I wonder, do these guys cruise a lot? Once inside the rail yard leading to the trail, the area had a hushed, awesome beauty, with only a few hikers to join you. Once at the trailhead, you have, you guessed it, more detailed signage and another restroom. This one was, of course, more rustic, but still quite serviceable. The cemetery is just beyond on a short trail, where many notable, or notorious, characters of the wild days of the Gold Rush are buried. But there's more here than just a cemetery. Continue up to Lower Reed Falls, for example, or even beyond. The trail has some elevation, but nothing too intense if you're reasonably able. Our hike, including walking from town and back, took about 4 hours, but could be longer if you kept going up the trails. Skagway has at least 3 types of experiences worthy of a full day each: train, history, or hiking. So it's worthy of multiple trips, which is unique for such a small place. Another place which is small and isolated, yet rich with activities, is Alaska's capital, Juneau. Check out our report on this cool city here. And keep those comments and questions coming. We'd love hearing from you.